Justin Lucas Savage at Backcountry Treks here, and today I've got some climb gear that I'd like to show you. This is the Overland Jacket, and it strikes a really nice value and sort of a compromise, I guess, between a value and paying a lot of money for some really great protection, both from the elements and from riding off-road with this stuff, falling off a bike, hitting gravel and sand and walking through water and all that stuff. So let me tell you a little bit about it. It's 2-layer Gore-Tex, so as always from Gore-Tex, guaranteed to keep you dry, but the construction really matters. So it has a really nice big oversized zipper on it, all YKK zippers. These zipper pulls on it are real handy and easy to use even with gloves on. It does Velcro all the way up, a little snap here at the bottom, and then one at the top. It's almost initially too tight for me. Kind of hits right here my Adam's apple a little bit, but I tell you what, after like 3 minutes of wearing it, I don't even notice it, and actually not even noticing it right now. Just kind of when you look down, it kind of constricts a little bit right there. But again, it's that compromise between kind of the fit and then keeping the elements out. You have a draw cord right in the back here, so you can snug that up, keep all the rain and the wind and everything out. Has a nice little fleece line collar around there. For adjustability, you have on the bottom of the hem, you have a couple of draw cords right there. Again, pretty easy to use. These are a little bit harder to use with gloves on. Kind of a small little pull tab on that. But again, probably not going to adjust that a lot while you're riding. You have adjustable cuffs, so you can snug those up over some gloves. And then in the forearm here, you can really just cinch this thing down and keep out the elements there. And I've got it. It's pretty warm out today, almost about 80 degrees up here in the mountains of Colorado. And it's a good point to be had there. I've ridden in really cold, kind of that pelting rain and stayed warm. I'll normally layer a real thin 800 filled down jacket under this, maybe over a t-shirt. But then when it gets hot, you can really dump that heat. It has 4 vents, one on each side here, as you can see that I have open, and then you have 2 in the back, and I have these open as well. You don't have to be super flexible, but it does help to be a little flexible. You can grab these with your gloves to get them up and down, and you can reach them from around here. Normally before I leave, I'll have my wife or one of the kids open that. There's a mesh liner on the inside. I've only gotten it stuck in the zipper once. You can tell that, I guess I'd have to open it. You can tell that I haven't had any problem here doing it. I normally just pull up and away. I think it was just kind of a fluke that one time that I had that in there. So again, keeps you nice and cool. You have Cordura here on the elbows, on the forearms, all the way up into the shoulder. So a real nice durability feature. You have some Scotchlite right there, so some reflective stuff that you can see, because the color isn't the most striking color if you're out riding on the road. It's not a bright color, but you know, it does blend in real nice if you're riding around and kind of want to blend in. You have that nice reflective Scotchlite. I'm going to take this off and show you a couple of the features on the inside. It has the D3O on the back, a really cool flexible back panel. If you're not familiar with this, you know, a lot of those jackets have almost that plasticky feel, and some jackets actually have real hard plastic, and you can hear that this feels like plastic or sounds like plastic, but it's really nice and flexible. So with the D3O, you get a really super flexible piece to fit into a garment. So when it's sitting on my back, I don't feel like it's this big hunchback. It just really blends and molds to my body. But when you hit it really hard, it absorbs that impact really, really quickly across a wider surface area. So that D3O is going to keep you real nice and safe, but at the same time allow for flexibility, and that back panel breathes really nicely. You also have it up here in the shoulders, a little bit different panel. And then one, I'm not going to pull this out, but you got one right here in the elbow as well. It flexes really nice. So again, once you put it on, you'll probably feel it the first time because you're not used to it, but it's going to flex and mold to your body. So some really nice, interesting stuff there. Let's see, so we have 2 pockets down here, of course, for your hands. Weather tight, water resistant zippers on those guys. And then you have one up here, right over your left chest. It's normally where I keep earplugs and stuff up there. You do have a couple nice features in here. I'll show you this interior pocket. one right here, you can see that I've got a spot in there, but it opens up with a nice little headphone port, so you can bring those up. And then on each side of the collar here, you have two little sort of elastic pieces, so you can pop your headphones up through there, and when you're taking your jacket out with your phone or your music player or whatever you've got in your pocket here, those all go with it, and you're not going to get that big tangle of mess that you see there. One more thing on the inside here, you have a wicking mesh liner, and it really pulls that sweat and stuff away from your body. Almost too well. And I say that because, man, I've had this stinking. It was about a week ago, and I couldn't stand the smell of this jacket. I wasn't ready to wash the whole thing. By the way, though, if you are ready to wash it, you just drop it in the wash machine, and they recommend, you know, putting that in the heated dryer cycle that actually restores that DWR finish and helps repel that water from even getting to the Gore-Tex part of the fabric. So they do actually recommend washing it. Don't be afraid to do that. I just wasn't ready to do that after a couple weeks use, so I just had some soap on a washcloth, scrubbed that down, hosed it and sprayed it off a little bit, and then you'll find that goes back together, and that smell is pretty much gone for me. I am normally between a small to medium in jackets. This I picked out a medium, and it fits really well. You can see that I can layer, I have room to layer underneath a little bit. So when it starts getting a little bit chilly, we're up here in the mountains, it's almost 80 degrees right now. This morning it was about 45. So we need that all season sort of protection. Again, from Klim, this is the Overland Jacket. Really recommend it. Have had a lot of fun taking it through the elements, stream crossings, a lot of sand, dust, and picking the bike up on, you know, when it's laying on its side. This thing really performs, and it still looks brand new even after a lot of hours wearing this thing. Again, from Klim, it's the Overland Jacket. I'm Justin Lucas Savage at Backcountry Treks.